Oh, what's going on, people? Leading people is hard. And there was a time I used to tell myself, man, when I get that promotion, then everybody is going to listen to me. And guess what? They did not. Maybe a little bit, maybe a few more people were more receptive or maybe um, less resistant. But by and large, it did not solve the issue of, having to push back and dealing with the friction of being a leader. And so it turns out I'm not the only person that has had this situation. There's a whole bunch of phenomenal construction leaders out there, or just leaders in general, that have struggled with this issue of being in a leadership role, having new responsibility to lead people, to lead change, and dealing with the hidden frictions, which we're going to dive into in a big way today. So the two frictions that we're going to dive into are rejection and slow progress. And the main purpose of getting into these two things is because I used to think that the reason people were like rejecting or going slow was because they hated me or because I sucked at it. And I've come to find out that that's not entirely true, maybe a little bit, but more importantly for you, it's not because you suck. It's because they're human. And so we're going to get into those things. But before that, you got to know I'm Jesse, your selfish servant. And my mission is to leave the construction industry better than I found it. And I can't do it all by myself. So I need your help to make that happen. So let's jump into it. Well, actually, if you're out there in the Omniverse, let me know in the comments. That way, you can boost my ego a little bit and I can feel like, hey, somebody's listening. But if not, it's okay. Drop your questions, drop your objections, drop your comments. If you have anything that, from your firsthand experience that you think is going to add value to the chat, to the community, please do so. If you got questions about the thing, ask and I'll do my best to answer them. And so let's start with rejection. Like the main point. Oh, look at that. We got Laura Wilson says, hi, hello, welcome. Thanks for jumping in the chat. The first thing I want to touch on, because it's the hardest one, right? It's the one that's the scariest and maybe the one that erodes your confidence and challenges your self-esteem, or at least challenged mine, was rejection. Once I got into a leadership role as a lead man, as a foreman, every level that I, progressed in my career, there was rejection. And I used to take it as if the people were rejecting me. Now, when I was treating people poorly, hell yeah, they were absolutely rejecting me. But once I matured and figured out how to better serve the people in front of me and understood my job as a leader was to support the team to success, I still had to deal with rejection. And eventually I got to a point, and I say eventually, meaning it took about 10 plus years for me to kind of ferret this out and see where it was coming from. The issue with being a leader, right, leading change or leading people, is you represent change. So what people are generally rejecting is change. They're not rejecting you per se. It's not your eyes. It's not your hair. Maybe if you're not wearing deodorant, it's possible that they're rejecting that. But by and large, people are, we're kind of designed to conserve energy by staying by staying in a static state, because growth, adapting, taking on new things, learning new skills, all of that requires energy. And so we're trying to conserve energy, like fundamentally. So any change is difficult. And like, I know that I love change. I love to deploy and manage change. Me personally, I do not like to change. All of my exes will tell you, they are proof that I do not personally like to change. And so that's another data point around this idea that when you get into a leadership role, sure, it sounds great. You're going to get a new title. Maybe you get an office or a desk or whatever. It's nice to think, right? Like some of us hope that when we get to that level, whatever level that is, or we get that certification, the degree, the title, that all of a sudden people are just going to listen to us. And I'm here to tell you that that is highly, highly unlikely. Really, the work that has to happen is the leadership work, which is building relationships and leading through influence and being accountable to your responsibilities as a leader, which means performance management, which we're not going to get into. But I want to be clear, when I'm talking about performance management, I'm talking about writing people up. I'm talking about providing them the resources to be successful and being clear on the consequences of what will happen if they fail to improve their performance. That's a totally separate thing. Right now, I'm talking about specifically you as a leader, leading people, leading change, leading a new initiative. You just got to be ready for rejection. Like if you can't handle rejection and it really hurt, like for real, if it really, really hurts your feelings and gets into your head and makes you question yourself and makes you feel less than, leadership may not be for you. A lot of people want to be the leader, but I'm just here to tell you it is super, super challenging. Let's go to the comments. We got some folks. We got Tessa Bray. Thank you, Tessa. She says hi, or says hi. I don't know what that is, but he says hi. We got Brantley. We get a hi from Brantley. Got a lot of highs coming in from YouTube. Super, super appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to the subject. So back to the idea of rejection. Here's the one thing that I want you to take away. Put this in your toolbox. If you're leading people, rejection, they are not rejecting you. They are rejecting change. They, meaning the team, the people that you're leading or that you're in charge of. You just happen to represent change. So the trick is to like compartmentalize. How do I separate myself, my feelings, my emotions from the fact that they're just being human and rejecting change? And that's okay. Like it's totally okay for them to reject it. It's not okay for them to undermine and be against it. That takes us back to performance management, which I mentioned later. If you want to hear more about that, drop something in the comments. Maybe I'll jump into that on the next one. It's not okay for them not to adapt to the change that you're leading. It is okay for them to resist. And that's where the gold happens, because the resistors, the people that are pushing back, that are rejecting the change that you represent as the leader, they have the most valuable intel on what needs to happen in terms of the approach, in terms of support, and in terms of resources to help them get over the hating. And I know that's counterintuitive, right? So you come to somebody, well, hey, we've got this new initiative. We're going to be rolling out this new software, and I'm that guy, right? I'm going to say, I don't need a new damn software. Leave me alone. Everything was fine just the way it was. And so if somebody just gets mad and says, yes, you got to do it, guess what? I'm going to maybe do it, but half-heartedly, right? I'm going to go through the motions, check the box, and say I'm doing the damn thing. But if somebody says, okay, I understand, it seems like clearly you're not excited about using this new thing. Help me understand why. Like, let's get into, obviously, what you're using right now works. What are the features of the thing that are bringing you, like, that you like the most? What do you love about what the current thing is? Extremely valuable, because their answers to that could inform, like, this new thing better have those things. Because if it don't, they're going to hate it even worse. Okay, awesome. Features, we figured that out. The second question or second thing to explore is like personally, like, okay, I understand that this is going to add, workload, right? It's going to require you to think more. It's going to require you to adapt. What can I do as the leader to help ease that or smooth that over, right? Because again, as a leader, which will take us to the second point, which is slow progress, it's very easy for us to forget about how much freaking work they are. They're already drowning in work, and change is going to impact their production rate. There was a time when I used to install stuff, and I was really good at installing, and anything that was going to slow me down from installing what I used to install, like my current pace, I didn't want to have anything to do with it, because my performance was going to drop. And if my performance drops, I'm a competitive person. That means somebody else, now I'm at risk of being outperformed. I don't like that idea. So I don't want to change, because what I'm doing right now actually works. This other thing, I don't trust it because I haven't experienced it. And so as the leader, helping, I'll say this, designing the conditions or having the communication to be clear about, look, we know that your production is going to drop. Like your performance is going to suffer for a little bit, right? Not forever. And if it suffers forever, there may be something else we need to look at. But we need to create the space so that they can adapt the new change. We need to create, and what I mean by that is I can't be a butthead about them trying the new thing and struggling. I can't be a butthead about them trying the new thing and taking longer than I want them to, right? Like it's part of the deal. And so again, folks, if you're leading change or you want to be a leader, you best be ready for rejection. If you can't handle rejection, I'm here to tell you, find another way. Now, it is possible that this may just be me, but I'm telling you, I have a lot of people in my network, hundreds of very, very experienced leaders, and we all deal with rejection to some degree. It's how you deal with it that makes the difference. You can capitalize the rejection by investing time in connecting with the people that are like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't, like the haters. It's okay. They are a fantastic source for intel that'll help you design a better experience and make sure the new thing is indeed better than the current or old thing. You just got to take the time to listen to it. Again, listen to it. Main takeaway that I want you to hang your hat on is if you're new, especially if you're new into leadership, new into leading people, and you're feeling a lot of rejection, that's natural, man. That's just people being people. It's not you. And also, if you're think that, oh man, I can't wait till I'm the foreman, I can't wait till I'm the project manager, and you think that when you get that position or that promotion or title, that all of a sudden the rejection is going to go away, it ain't. It won't. And now, if there's anybody out there in the Omniverse that got the title, the certificate, the degree, the promotion, and all of a sudden didn't have to deal with rejection, let me know in the comments. My money says right now, ain't nobody had that experience. Because it's just people being people. Now, the other pain that you got to be ready for as a leader is slow progress. It's easy to assume, because I did this for a very long time. It is easy to assume that everybody works the way you work, meaning everybody's going to put in the extra effort. Everybody's going to obsess and study and think and plan and all the things, like be a maniac about the thing the way you are. That is false. I had one boss, Jim Jones, told me, he's like, Jesse, you have all these expectations of people, but they do not function like you. People do not obsess about their work to the degree that you obsess about your work. So yes, I'm a maniac. Yes, I love the idea. Yes, I'm obsessive. Yes, I can see the long-term value, the long-term business outcome of adopting this new change, of doing the things, whatever it is. They can't. I've been dreaming and studying and like scheming on how to make this thing amazing. They haven't. The proof of that is there's not very many of you in that. Like every leadership role you go, look at your organization or think back. At every leadership level, the quantity, like the number of people at that level is smaller. Why? Because there are very few people that really want the damn thing, A. Two, are willing to sacrifice the necessary time, effort, and energy to get the damn thing. And so they just don't care about it the way you do. And that's okay. I'm going to tell you, being, let me muddy the water for you. It's okay in the form of thinking that I have now, because I'm all about support and people growing together now, right? I'm all about long-term gains, long-term benefit, long-term growth. And so in that model, it is okay for people to, to not be 100% all in. Now, there are times, and there was a long period of time in my career where I wasn't about the long game. I was about right now, we got to get the stuff done today, and it has to happen, period. In that model, that's different. There ain't no room for slow progress, and it's not sustainable over the long run, meaning people will burn out, people will quit. It's hard on people. It's hard on their personal life. And so if you want to build something long and sustainable, be ready for slow progress, because like I said, not everybody is crazy about the damn thing as you are, and that's okay. Now, if it's your business, you have different priorities, you have different leverage that you can do something about it. But I touched on this earlier, and I want to point out like a real fact. Part of the reason the progress is so slow is because your team is already under tremendous pressure from their current responsibilities. Well, I need a sip of coffee here. They're already under massive pressure from their current responsibilities and the problems that are in the business, in the systems, in the processes, and within the people, period. So they're in this place where they got a lot of work to do. They got deadlines, they got pressure, they got problems that they're having to deal with, problems with the business, problem with the team, problem with people. And now you want to add this new thing? Of course it's going to take longer. Now, if you clear their plate and get crap off of there, like just stop doing this, don't do that anymore, then that's reasonable. It would be reasonable to expect faster process. But by and large, be ready. If you're going to lead an initiative, lead a subcommittee, lead people, if you're new to the thing, be ready for slow progress. And that's not to say take your foot off the gas and let people lollygag. No. It's more to say that if it's slow, it's not an indictment on your ability to lead. It's more a feature of teams and people. Like it's part of the freaking deal. Oh, look at that. We got my buddy coming in. Hare Krishna Vlogs says, I'm from India. What's going on, my brother? Thank you for jumping in the chat, my man. Okay, so again, be ready for slow progress. Why? Because that's just reality. Now, what I mean by slow progress is slower than what you want it to be, right? Because when I have an idea, I want that thing to go into play and happen and transform the world and blah, like I want all the things right now. Again, I'm the only one that's been obsessing about it, thinking about it, scheming and planning to make the thing happen. Everybody else has not. All I'm doing when I come to them with the idea, with the new change, the new program, the new software, the new strategy, whatever it is, they're going to say, oh my God, we're just now getting good at this thing. Now you want to add this other thing. Like, come on, Jess, slow down. People have told me that, like, oh my God, what book did you read today? Now you got another stupid idea. But it's because of the pressure of their current responsibilities and the current problems that are in the system that you're operating in. So if you want to accelerate the change, the progress, figure out what the hell's slowing them down. Figure and take action on it, right? Like I've done this. It's a bad mistake. Don't ask like, okay, what's in your way of getting done? And then they tell you, and then you just tell them, well, you need to manage your time better. You need to set priorities. That doesn't help. You're the leader. You have the authority and the influence to make a move that will help them have more bandwidth, that will help them manage their time better. I'll give you an example. I had a boss who he was on my butt because I wouldn't take vacation, right? I'm a workaholic. I'm a maniac. And in my annual performance review, that was part of the conversation because I would burn out. I was on these like 6-week burnout cycles. After about 6 weeks, I would call in and just disappear for a day or two. And then I would come back and do it again and then burn out. And he's like, Jess, like you need to take time off. You need to do a better job of managing your time. And I said, well, that sounds cute. I clearly don't know how to do that. I need help, man. Like, are you going to take a couple of projects off of my list? Well, no, we couldn't do that. He said, okay, here's what we're going to do. You are going to work one day from home out of the week. And I said, yeah, that sounds good. He's like, no. Do not come to the office one day out of the week. Okay, fine. So what I did was I just went out to the job sites. He caught wind of that. He's like, okay, just no. Work from your house. And it's like, man, I don't know how to do that. He said, okay, what are the things that you do on your computer that do not require you to talk and engage with people, walk projects or whatever? And, I came up with the list. He said, okay, one day a week, that's what I want you to do at the house. Don't do it during the week. Just do that at home. Don't come into the office. Don't go to the job site. Do your computer crap from home. And I know that sounds duh, especially now. But back then, it was like, oh, wow, like, yeah, I could absolutely do that. My point is, I was under the pressure of all the work that I had, the current commitments I had, the problems that we were dealing with, all my responsibilities. And he helped me find a way to manage that and make it smaller. He didn't make a random ass suggestion of do better time management. He actually helped me develop a skill, helped me develop a habit. So as a leader, if you want to accelerate progress, it is actually beneficial to have that conversation with your people and understand what's getting in their way and take action on the thing. Just, flippantly saying, well, they're just going to have to figure it out. That is a tactic. Most managers do that. In the long term, people will leave you because you do nothing to support them, to invest in them, to help them be successful. Like for real, it takes a lot of work. But the main point is be ready for slow progress. The other thing that is a big mistake that leaders, managers do, and it's natural, but I want to point it out because it's really, really important. It might be the most important point. Is we understand, right? We've been to the meetings, we've been to the strategy sessions, we understand like the corporate objective or the long-term goal for your business, your team, whatever it is. We understand like the business value of it. We understand that it's going to improve margin or it's going to decrease turnover or whatever KPIs it's tied to. We understand that. Nobody cares about the business value. I'm going to shout out my brother, Christopher Johnson. He says, good morning. Awesome example of how good. Yeah, Chris, I got lucky, bro. I've had some amazing leaders in my life, and they helped me a lot. Let me say this one more time. Nobody cares about the business value. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I didn't care about the business value. I had to figure, my brain does these calculations, right? And I like to figure out like, okay, you're saying it's going to help us it's going to reduce turnover and it's going to amplify gross margin. And in the long term, it's going to play into the company value and there's profit sharing. Like I get that. But I had to translate it to, okay, what's the value for me? The issue with overemphasizing the business value is the business value is super, super long term. They are not going to see it for months, for a quarter, for half a year, for a year. So this new thing that you're deploying, leading change, leading people, the value is not going to be experienced by the individual for an extended period of time. And because it's not going to impact me this week, I don't care. So I'm not going to be radically compelled to go and start doing this new stupid thing. Why? Because it ain't going to pay off this week. Like for real. If it's not going to help me right now, who cares? I'll do it. But like, I don't see the immediate personal value. It's just going to go on the list of things that I got to do. And that can be deflating. Again, as a leader, it's extremely deflating to be excited and hyped about a thing. And then you roll it out and launch it. And people are like, oh, okay, so what do you want me to do? When is it due? You're like, oh my God, like what's wrong with you? Here's the trick. Forget about the business value. Don't even waste a second convincing them of how it's going to improve corporate profits or profitability or productivity for the business unit. Nobody gives a shit. Figure out what value there is for the individual in the short term. I'm going to say it again. Figure out what the short-term value is for the individual, right? And so again, because we're human, we respond to dopamine. We like that instant gratification. Yes, we love to judge people because they all want instant gratification, but we all love it, right? You eat a delicious freaking taco, guess what? You're going to want another one. Why? Because it tasted good right now. Not because it was going to taste good in 6 months, because it tasted good right now. It quenched my hunger right now. I love it. I want more. Okay? So figure out what that personal value is, because there is some personal value, right? Now, what the issue is, that's different. We can get into that at another time. But the takeaway that I want you to like chew on and noodle on is when you're leading change, or when you're deploying something, particularly when you're leading people and you want them to get excited about a thing, it's going to be slower than you want it to be. Don't take your foot off the gas. But if you want to speed that up, figure out like, okay, they're under pressure. How can you minimize the pressure that they're currently under? How can you clear the pathway for them, create green lights for them? Not as much as you can, right? Be reasonable about it. And how can you contextualize, rephrase, reword the messaging about the change beyond the business value and more focused on the personal value? How is it going to help that individual right now, like today? I'll give you an example. I'm working on a community for construction leaders, and here's an announcement. Don't tell anybody. The name has been selected. The name of this community is the Construction Leadership Lab. I'm still working, me and Aaron are still working on, putting all the things together for it. But the name of the community is the Construction Leadership Lab. My long-term vision, the reason I'm psychotic and crazy about it is because, like I said earlier, I want to leave the construction industry better than I found it. I know I can't do it all by myself, so I need a bunch of people to help make that happen. And I'm convinced that this is going to contribute to that. Now, for the individual that signs up, maybe they care, like they want to make things a little bit better. But by the time we actually affect the industry as a whole, that's way down the road and a lot of damn people. So there has to be some immediate value for the individual. So what did I do? I did a little survey. To find out, like, what do people value? And the top 3 things that people said was knowledge sharing, connecting with other construction leaders, and downloadable cheat sheet checklist type stuff, which awesome, right? So of course, the community is that the Construction Leadership Lab is going to have those elements baked into it for the purpose of delivering immediate value to all the individuals, all the forward-thinking leaders that sign up for that bad boy, so that they get instant gratification, so they get instant value that makes their day better, their week better right now, which keeps them engaged and committed to the long-term value, right? Yes, Construction Leadership Lab is it's not in the oven yet. We're getting the ingredients together. We're going to start mixing them and batching them. So if you're interested in the Construction Leadership Lab, I'm still taking feedback. It's going to be a while till we launch. I'm still taking feedback. So if you're interested in it, drop community in the chat and I'll find a way to get you the survey so you can give us your feedback and get you on the short list for the beta test, because I'm hoping by the end of June, the goal, I'm not hoping, the goal is to launch the beta test of the community by the end of June. And so again, if you're interested, drop community in the chat. I'll figure out how to get you to the thing. And we got some call up Chris is saying, shh, don't be sharing those secrets yet. My brother Daniel Tejeda says personal value most of the time is growth. Some people are afraid to grow. It's up to us to help them grow and not be afraid to take the step. Amen, Daniel. Like, that's the thing. We've got to escort one another through the change. As a leader, you don't get to say, hey, here's the change, go change. No. You've got to guide them. You've got to escort them through that freaking thing. You got to be there hand in hand to make it happen, because change is scary. And so we'll just kind of sum up the main points here. If you're in leadership, if you're new to leadership, or if you've been in a leadership role, had some responsibility for a long period of time, and you're beat down because people are rejecting you, and you're beat down because it's going slower than you want it to, I want you to know it ain't because you suck. That's part of the deal. You don't suck. People are going to reject it, and it is going to go slower than you want it to go, period. That's just a feature. That's just evidence of human beings being human beings. So give yourself some grace, pick yourself up. You're doing a good job. Invest in the people you got. Now, for the folks out there that like think, when I get to be a leader, when I get to be a foreman or a superintendent or a VP, then everybody's going to listen. Negative, false. I do not believe that's true at all. And so you best be ready for some rejection and for some slow progress. It's just the way it goes. Appreciate y'all being here. Everybody that dropped comments in the chat, super, super appreciate you. Be kind to yourself. Be cool. And we'll talk at you next time.